Hello! In this video I'm going to show you how to knit a boot cuffs. For this project we will knit a bulky yarn. I use wool is thick and quick number 6 and 9mm needles. You can use a circular needles if you want. Let's start by casting on 32 stitches. Slide the first stitch on the other needle, then purl 2 and knit 2. Purl 2 and knit 2 until the last stitch. I always purl the last stitch. Now let's start the second row. Slide the first stitch on the other needle and look at your pattern. If you see 2 knitted stitches, you will need to knit 2. If you see the 2 purled stitches, you will need to purl 2, and so on. I added 2 stitch markers. On one side I have 11 stitches, and on another side I also have 11 stitches. In the middle I have 10. We will continue our pattern on the first 11 stitches. Same as before. Look at the pattern and purl 2, then knit 2, and so on. Now, when you get to the middle 10 stitches, we will do a knotted cable panel. Knit the first 2 stitches, then take an extra needle and slide the next 2 stitches on it. Leave the extra needle in front and knit next 2 stitches. Now we will return 2 stitches that we took out back on the left needle and knit them. Take the next 2 stitches on the extra needle and also leave it in front. Knit the next 2 stitches. Now we will return 2 stitches back on the left needle and knit them. This is how you do a knotted cable panel. Now when we reach the second marker, we continue with our basic pattern. Purl 2, knit 2, and so on. When we reach our fourth row, the first 11 and the last 11 stitches, we will continue the same pattern till the end of the project. The only difference will be in the middle 10 stitches, where we will do a knotted cable. On the fourth row, we will purl all 10 middle stitches. Fifth row, it's only third row for the knotted cable panel. I'm moving the first 2 stitches from the left needle on the extra needle and leave it in the back. Now we will knit the next 2 stitches and return 2 stitches back to the left needle and knit them. Move the next 2 stitches from the left needle on extra needle and leave it in the back. Knit the next 2 stitches. Then return 2 stitches back to the left needle and knit them. Knit the remaining 2 stitches. Last 11 stitches, purl 2 and knit 2. Here is our 6th row, 4th row for the knotted cable panel. Knotted cable panel will be purled on this row. Remember, the first 11 and the last 11 stitches will stay the same for the remaining of the project. The middle pattern consists of 10 stitches and 4 rows. The first row will simply repeat for the remaining of the project. The second and fourth rows and all remaining even rows will always be purled, and third row will also repeat for the remaining of the project. I think this is long enough for me, but you can continue if you wish. For the next 2 rows, I will ignore my markers and continue the basic pattern, purl 2 and knit 2, the same way as we started. Since our 10th and 11th stitches were knitted, the next 2 will be purled. Then 2 more will be knitted, and so on. Repeat it for the remaining of this row and do 1 more row just like this one. Now let's bind off the way you prefer. Here is how I do it. I will knit 2 stitches together and slide the new stitch back on the left needle. Just continue the same way. Knit 2 stitches together and slide the new stitch back on the left needle. When you have only 1 stitch left on the needle, cut off the yarn, pull it through the loop and tighten it. Fold the cuff so that the pattern is facing the inside and sew the 2 edges together using the darning needle. You can do it with the remaining tail. Now just hide the ends of the yarn. Our project is complete.